At the start of a French policier called November, we're told that while the story is based on real-life events, many of the details are fictional. It's an important distinction because the real events were a terrorist attack on Paris that hit headlines all over the world for weeks. Two groups simultaneously struck, one at a rock concert at the Bataclan, the other at various locations all over the city.
Ouais.
Many of the characters in November, particularly the police, have been renamed to protect them and their families. And a complicated story has been reduced to a matter of days here, while the actual investigation took years. Above all, the film treats the attacks and their victims with admirable restraint. We see very little of the damage caused.
Il y a une équipe au Stade de France et l'autre dans Paris, ça a tiré rue Bichat au Carillon, rue de la Fontaine-au-Roi.
Séverine, tu pars au Stade de France avec ton équipe.
Les terroristes sont entrés au Bataclan, en plein concert.
Instead, we follow the police investigation from the point of view of a handful of characters. Fred, played by Jean Dujardin, leads the investigation, and if you only know him as a charming comic actor in films like the Oscar-winning The Artist, he's just as good in straight drama.
On est évidemment préparé pour ça, mais ceux pour qui la charge émotionnelle est trop importante peuvent se mettre sur le côté. Je veux pas qu'on laisse place à nos émotions personnelles.
His boss, Eloise, is played by another actor we don't associate with hard-boiled crime movies. Sandrine Kiberlain is best known playing bourgeois ladies who lunch in light comedies of manners. No lunch and very little manners in November.
Il y a des tirs dans le 10e arrondissement, des rues, donne-moi les rues.
Héloïse est en ligne avec la PP.
Combien il y a d'assaillants?
Tu restes au bureau et tu regroupes tout le monde.
The third point of view is a young provincial detective called Inez, who's clearly been promoted above her level of competence. Right at the start, she makes a rookie mistake when she follows a hunch rather than follow procedure. Fred blasts her for behaving like a rural policeman or the hero of an American cop show, he could have added.
Comment vous l'avez récupéré l'adresse?
Je l'ai suivi.
Vous avez travaillé en dehors de toute procédure.
Non mais reprends-toi là, rassemble-toi, moi j'ai besoin de toi.
Following procedure is what French police movies are often about. And while November conflates the hundreds of people involved in investigating the crime, it does give a very clear idea of just how it was done.
Je veux que tous les indiques, tous les infiltrés, tous les flics de France se coordonnent.
The pressure on the police in the hours immediately after the murders, over 100 were killed, many others were badly injured, is immense, particularly when it becomes clear there's a strong likelihood that the terrorists plan to strike again and soon.
Aux dernières informations, il y aurait 2 terroristes en fuite dans Paris. Je veux que le moindre type qui a eu un comportement bizarre dans les dernières 24 heures soit en garde à vue.
Arrête-toi!
Unlike the sort of murder mystery where one line of inquiry follows a series of clues, this is more like hunting for several needles in various haystacks with only a rough suspicion that it's actually a needle they're looking for. It's also a hugely sensitive issue in which the Muslim community is divided between a very small group of would-be terrorists, a far larger group of law-abiding citizens, and a significant number of the police themselves.
Faisiez quoi le soir du 13 novembre?
Tout ce que je peux vous dire, c'est que la main qui vous frappe, elle va encore vous frapper.
Complicating matters are Paris's criminal underworld. No friends of terrorists, but also dead set against helping the police either. People like arms dealer Jackie, who's appalled to discover his illegal guns were involved in the massacre, and equally horrified that anyone could possibly blame him.
J'ai reçu un coup de téléphone pour une autre livraison d'armes.
Tout est lié. C'est quoi son nom?
Personne ne le connaît, on n'a rien sur lui.
Comment vous l'avez récupéré l'adresse?
Je l'ai suivi.
November, like so many past French procedurals, is absolutely gripping, and nowhere more than when Inez finally finds something that looks like hard evidence, a woman called Samir who claims to know where the ringleaders may be.
Comment c'est possible que vous n'ayez rien? Ça fait 3 jours maintenant.
Je sais où sont les 2 terroristes.
Is Samir incredibly brave, or is she lying? Is it a trap, or is this one time when Inez's much maligned gut instinct may save Paris from disaster? November, understandably, was a smash hit at home. The original attack is still a red-hot topic in France, their equivalent of 9/11, and the success of the investigation ensured big audiences there.
Dans quelques instants, la France va se figer pour une minute de silence.
It will probably work just as well here, though for the opposite reason. If, like me, you don't know how it ended, you'll be on the edge of your seat throughout, waiting for the bang.